Go.
Hello, everyone. AJAP here to try something a little new this week. So, a couple weeks ago, because I am extremely slow and lazy with this, Cartoon Network recently premiered DC Superhero Girls, made by the Foster Corn herself, Lauren Faust. Unfortunately, as far as I know, this is still on cable, but after watching it, I decided, I really like the show, and basically, long story short, we'll get into more details later. Pretty much if you're a fan of Friendship is Magic, you will like this show. So after a while, I was thinking maybe I wanted to review, touch upon. I know OmniViewer and Stupid Private already did, and I really wanted to give my thoughts, but I kind of want to do something different. And then by chance, I happened to learn that my co-host and friend here, PepperMint, also is apparently a fan of the show and series. Say hi, Pepper.
Hello, Verpony. PepperMint here. Yee.
And so we decided to get together to essentially just, in a podcast style, review the series and give our thoughts on it and let you all know what you think and whether this is a show that you should watch. And long story short, just to get this part out of the way, yes, I think it was pretty good. I'll get into more detail later, but Pepper, why don't you, if you want to introduce yourself, go ahead, but also say what your basic overall impression or thoughts of the first episode, Sweetjustic, was.
So, how I felt about it was, I knew that it was Lauren Faust because I feel like everything she touches is just pure gold. And she just did an amazing job for this. I love that it's interesting to see all these DC superheroes into teenagers and stuff, that we're always so used to them being normal, adults, but now it's really cool to see them. I love the episode. I think I laughed the hardest with Wonder Woman, trying to learn how to be a normal teenager.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we'll get into more detail later, but yeah, right now, just short and sweet, whether or not you like it or you would recommend the series.
We'll
recommend
try to do
some points.
I truly recommend it. So.
Oh, you did like it?
Huh?
Alrighty, so short and sweet version. Yes, we both really did like this series, and now we're going to get into details why. But first, is there any backstory or pre-thoughts going into the show? Like, I got something, but did you have any? Oh, I think you already did, but here's what I mean by explanation, if you don't mind me explaining, do you?
No, that's fine. Go ahead.
Right. Well, here's my interesting history with Superhero Girls. I first heard about it, believe it or not, when I was starting to watch Adventure Time after the series finale. I saw the series finale, I wanted to see it. I'm one of the few saps in the world that still have cable, and one of the even rarer suckers who has cable but not home Wi-Fi. Yeah, long story there. Mm-hmm. And basically, to watch Adventure Time, I first had to sit through the original, 5-minute webisodes. You remember those, Pepper?
I did. Actually, I do. I remember those.
Yeah, and those were not pleasant to sit through. I mean, I guess they weren't technically terrible. It was just I had to sit through this really mediocre stuff just to get to the good Adventure Time stuff. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, kind of low expectation, but then again, we got into this series, and it was I was Lauren Faust, so I was really optimistic that it would turn out good, and for the most part, good, I thought. So, like I said, so now we're just pretty much going to spend about maybe a half hour to an hour telling you all why you should give the series a chance. Pepper, you have anything particular you want to say or cover? I'm not really sure how to do this. You want to just address individual characters or over the story plot summary first of the we're talking pilot episode.
Right.
Because I've seen every episode that went up to the point of last Sunday, and you said you only saw the hour premiere.
Yes, I've only saw the hour premiere, and I've been only watching the clips online, all the little fun shorts they've done. But I think the biggest.
I don't think I've seen any of those shorts yet. So
they're really good.
Oh my gosh, they're funny. She's seen everything online so far.
Yeah, they're so funny. They.
Oh yeah, some catching up to do.
Yeah. So I guess the biggest thing.
I'll make sure to check it out. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, that's all right. So I've enjoyed the biggest thing in the show is the characters, how they, how each girl is all different individuals, but they come together so well. Just like if you think of My Little Pony, they're all different, and yet they have the same common bond. So yeah.
Yeah, so much so that some negative criticism of the show is actually seems to be that it's a bit too much like Friendship is Magic. You see Kara, you get vibes of Applejack, Rainbow Dash, Tana, you get vibes of Rarity, and I swear at one point it would have been perfect if she just went, "Behold, the great and powerful Zantana."
Oh, like Trixie, yeah. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, and Bumblebee being Fluttershy, and, well, Batgirl pretty much just being the Pinkie Pie I'm sure Tara Strong always wanted to be if you know your pony history.
Oh, goodness, yeah.
But yeah, do you kind of agree with that or disagree that the characters just seem kind of like carbon copies of the pony characters, and if that's a good or a bad thing? I'll let you go first and get my thoughts on that.
Okay, so I feel like it's understandable that, like, oh, they remind us way too much of our ponies and everything, but at the same time, I don't think it's a bad idea. I mean, the newest character, or the newest one...
I mean, it would have been...
Yeah. The newest one I liked
was
Green Lantern.
Bad if it, like...
So yeah, she was different. She was the one who was an eco person. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if like a Batgirl suddenly had a quirk of breaking the fourth wall and making cupcakes and liking cupcakes, then I would have problems. But no, personally, no. I mean, there's definitely influence, but I think it's more like the lines of Lauren, knowing what works with friendship is magic, and taking inspiration rather than pure copying. Because like I said, there's definitely inspiration here, but it's not pure copying. It's just knowing what works and adapting it, I think is the better word. Like, there is a fine difference between inspiration and plagiarism, not to confuse the two. But yeah, I do have to admit, the strongest of this four-parter is its characters. But at the same time, I'm not so sure if the story itself was kind of good. I mean, it's just kind of really basic. Your heroes getting together. I don't think they're really too story. You could tell who the villain was right away. And you want to talk about the story and the villain now, or save that for later?
We can talk about that now. So that was interesting.
Okay, so
a
quick summary of what the plot story was without getting too spoilery. Then you can go see it or not. Basically, the setup is. Basically, it's Barbara, Batgirl's first day at, was it Metropolis High? Or
yeah,
what's
Metropolis
the
High.
name?
They're in Metropolis. So, yeah, it's Metropolis High.
Alright, yeah. So, Metropolis High. Her father just moved them from Gotham City, and now she has to start over at a new school, and surprise, surprise, she comes across 4 girls that seem mysterious. Ooh. So, she gets them all kicked into detention, and then Wonder Woman, not Wonder Girl, Wonder Woman, more on that later, all up in detention. They find out they're supers, and Wonder Woman reveals that it's her destiny to come to the mainland to save all of mankind. They start bonding, working together to try to form a team, and then they have to fight some robots that are mysteriously destroying every cool place where they hung out and bonded. So they get into a big final climactic battle at the end, and they learn the power of friendship and sticking together and all this and that. And then, spoilers, but not really.
I mean, well, technically the episode's already been through, so I think it's okay to talk about it. Actually, if you think about it, it's been premiered for so long, so I think it'll be fine if there might be spoilers, I think. So.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's not really a spoiler. I mean, you see Lex and Lena in, like, the first 5 minutes, and I do have to admit, I just love that setup with Lex. Basically, it's like, he's looking all nice and innocent. I didn't build LexCorp for me. I built it for you. Evil! That was just kind of brilliant. And then Lena just suddenly popped in. But it does kind of make me wonder. I think I heard Ami say this in his review basically Lena's plan is one of the most stupidest things you'll ever hear. She's basically hacking Lex's robots to destroy all the cool teen hangout spots, so they'll have to invest in his virtual reality goggles to stare at YouTube puppy videos all day, so kids can rule the world. Like, they even kind of, like, Kara even kind of breaks, they kind of even break the fourth wall by Kara saying, that's the stupidest plan I ever heard. Then that kind of just saves the story a little bit, because it makes me wonder, like, oh, wait a minute, they could not have been what they actually planned. It seems more like they were just kind of like, they made this story, and then at the last minute were like, oh, wait a minute, we need a villain for this story for the girls to fight. And at first they consider Lex Luthor, but then I'm guessing from that one look he had at the very end, they were thinking, no, we actually might have plans for him later on, so let's just, oh, hey, he has a younger sister, Lena Luthor. Let's just throw her in there, apologize, just give them a villain to fight, and we'll just throw in some meta humor, and hopefully that'll make everything okay. I'm really, really hoping that's the case, and this is not actually our best work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's their first episode and everything, but I feel like the more there's episodes, the story will get, like, they'll develop better and everything. If you watch the episode, you'll notice that they start getting glasses and everything. You'll see those glasses keep popping up everywhere, and I was kind of a bit confused. Like, she's destroying all these places, and like, but kids like to hang out these places too. And like, does she not realize that? I mean, she's just a little kid and all that, but it's like, but these are places little kids like to hang out, and like, how are kids going to rule the world? That was kind of and she
yeah, like I said,
it was just kind of weird and everything, but. And, I mean, you have to still keep an eye on Lex Luthor. He's still Lex Luthor. So, he's,
I mean, he showed himself kind of as like he was willing to repair some of the damage, but then he gives that look saying, yeah, we do have plans in the future, and like I said, I'll give it a pass because this was his first episode, and hopefully that theory I just explained that Ami made of them having to, like, just throw in a villain at the last minute since they made everything with the middle, but they weren't sure how to start and end it. I'm really, really hoping that's the case. But, yeah, otherwise, although the story wasn't necessarily the best part, what was the best part and makes this work is the characters. Mm-hmm. Because I'm not sure who said it, or if maybe it was Lauren when she was making the ponies, but basically, you can have the most bland, predictable, cliched story in the world, but it can still be amazing if your characters are wonderful. That's true. And that's really what makes DC superhero girls shine. It's characters. Mm-hmm. So now we get into the fun stuff.
Yes.
The characters.
Oh.
So, you got basically for the DC superhero girls, we have 6 main characters at the moment. We got Barbara Gordon playing Batgirl, voiced by Senpai Tara Strong. Mm-hmm. Let's see, I don't know the other names or characters. You know them and you know their actresses and want to name them off? I didn't have time to look them up.
Yeah, so the girl, alright, unfortunately I can't, but the girl who does the voice of Supergirl, I remembered her as Shigo from Kim Possible and Princess Miranova from Boss Lightyear Star of Command. And she was actually Supergirl for years ago. DC had online only. They had like all these shorts, and they actually did a superhero girl short, superhero best friends or whatever. And she was Supergirl all the time. So yeah, and of course, Tara Strong was Batgirl in that one, and then, but they had a different, I don't know if they had the same person as Wonder Woman, but they called her in that short was Wonder Girl. So, weirdly enough, or whatever.
We'll look that up later, but yeah, if you don't know anyone else, we also have Bumblebee, not the Autobot car, that was the first ever great live-action Transformer movie. Yeah. That on another day from my channel. But we also had Santana, a magician girl. I'm not sure if she was like, I'm trying to remember her lore. She was like in the Justice League Unlimited, or that was someone else.
She has been updated. Yeah, she's been updated lately.
I think I've seen her before in Justice League Unlimited series. I'm not sure, but yeah, the Antenna, the magical Trixie Rarity hybrid. We then have Kara playing the best way I can describe her is kind of a punk rocker type girl. Like, it was definitely interesting to see a deviant sense. Normally when I think of her, I either think of her in that crappy CW series or kind of like your American Cheerleader, but I am all down for this adaptation of Kara. As pretty much, she looks like someone who could pretty much just crush you into a tin can. She literally can. Exactly. It just really works.
Oh my gosh, she updated her so much. It was great.
All right. Now let's just get on to the last 2 characters before we go individually. And then we have, the second interesting character to put in, a female Green Lantern by the name of Jess. You remember the last name?
I don't remember the last name, but I think her first name was Jessica something.
Yeah, Jessica. A female Green Lantern of all things. While there's also Hal Jordan in this universe. That was interesting, and we might have to look up more lore later. And then, of course, we have Wonder Woman, surprisingly, instead of Wonder Girl. And why don't we talk about her first, since I have a lot of notes on my end to talk about with her, but let's hear if you have anything, Pep.
So, I love that the factor Wonder Woman has no idea how to be a normal teenager because she was on the Amazon, the I don't know the proper name of the island, but she was there all of her life and everything. So
Yeah.
she had to learn a lot.
Basically following the coattails of the live action movie.
Yes, and exactly. And I love that they gave her an accent and everything. It was very beautiful because it sounded almost like Italian or something like that.
I think
she was amazing.
She's actually Greece, I believe.
That's probably it.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that they went with Wonder Woman instead of Wonder Girl, but I think it kind of works. Kind of like she's more the mature leader figure that the girls kind of need. Like
exactly
how, like, I guess you can kind of almost compare to her like Sunset, where there's arguments that she's technically older than the other girls in the Equestria Girls, so she's kind of the mature figure that grounds them in reality kind of stuff. But she also has interesting flaws of not being well adapted to the mortal world. So that's also a fun flaw that keeps her from feeling too overpowered. Like, it kind of works if you in that role. Like, you agree?
Yes, I do. It was she's just fun to watch, and she is a true
and I especially did love the scene. Although another interesting note that I remember reading on Twitter was when her mom came to get her. Apparently, from a tweet that I read from Lauren Faust, it's interesting to note. The scene was where Wonder Woman stands up to her mother about wanting to go to the mortal world. It was apparently based on this idea from, I think it was a canceled pilot to Justice Friends or something like that. Or something that kind of didn't happen, and Lauren took the opportunity to bring it here. And I thought that one scene was pretty beautiful, seeing her stand up to her mother like that and saying, "No, I'm an adult. I want to save the world. I passed the test. It is tradition." It was just beautiful.
Yes, and I love that the fact that her mother's design was based off the movie version of Wonder Woman. And, I mean, except this one's super big.
Only she looks more like a final boss, as Barbara put it. Okay. So, what character you want to talk about next? And I think I've done more talking, so why don't you pick the character you have the next most to talk about?
Okay, I did want to mention a little bit of, like, the Green Lantern, which we've never had a female Green Lantern before. The last one we ever had was an alien, but this one was Earth. And I like that the fact that she's an I like that the fact
I kind of found that interesting.
It was something from an anime
Green Lantern. It definitely raised an eyebrow for me.
Yeah, but I like that
we
they
didn't
gave
even
her,
get a female Green Lantern in the other series, and her personality apparently being that she's an extreme pacifist.
Oh, exactly. And I like that when she gets into her costume, that she gets like a giant tattoo on her face, and it's of the rain design. I thought it was really cool on their part.
What?
It was.
I didn't catch it. What's her tattoo of?
It's the design of the Green Lantern ring. So, and it's really cool. Yeah, so that's what that green was on her face. And I'm like, oh, it's just a big old tattoo. But I like that she was just an eco-friendly individual who does not want to fight. I really enjoyed that, and it was interesting to know that she did not want the ring in the first place. She kept refusing it, but Hal really told her, like, well, the ring chose you. You can't, fight it or whatever. You were chosen by the core to fight. So, yeah.
Yeah, it gets really interesting in the next individual episode with her, but you haven't seen that. We're only talking about the pilot, so moving on.
Right.
Let's talk about the... Let's see. How about Bumblebee next? And no, not the movie. I'm working on a review on my channel. And yes, it is the greatest thing ever. People, please go buy it and see it. I don't want to see any more Bayformers movies in theaters.
Yeah.
Have you seen Bumblebee?
I've not seen the movie yet, so I definitely
I
need to see it. But this Bumblebee,
I'm trying to make Casey watch it, but the best you can do. But no, we're talking about Bumblebee, the female character in the movie. Maybe you remember her from Teen Titans if you've seen the original, not Teen Titans Go, but we're focusing on the Bumblebee and DC Superhero Girls by Lauren Faust. We all clear. Let's just call her B so we don't get too confused.
Exactly.
Anyway, your thoughts on B, Pepper?
I wanted to hug her so bad. She was so adorable. She was so cute. They gave her this big old sweater, and she's so shy. But she's really good at technology and everything. And I'm like,
pretty much. And unfortunately, probably the most copy and paste of probably any of the girls, and probably the biggest argument you would have for pony copy and paste. But yeah, just so adorable, you almost don't care.
It's like, you don't care. One day, you don't care. She was
Yes,
so cute.
the answer is running away. I'm definitely curious to see where they go with her so far, because in the other episodes, the only two characters they haven't given another episode to yet so far are Wonder Woman and Bumblebee, so I'm definitely dying to see if they do something more of her next week. But although I definitely did love it at the end where she did that scene where she got herself electrocuted just to beat the villain and kind of then got her yellow highlight in the hair.
Yes.
Which I actually thought was kind of clever since it kind of showed both character growth. And even though I seriously am doubtful anyone's going to die in the series, it definitely, I think from a storytelling point, was actually an interesting way to show that even if no one can die, there can be consequences from these actions. So that helped a lot too.
Exactly, it really did. And I was a little bit worried about Bumblebee, like, oh, don't die, don't die, don't die. Like, oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
It's just cartoon logic.
Yeah, she wasn't going to die. but the fact that she at least got like a battle scar at least kind of addresses that there can be consequences.
Exactly.
No one might die, but it at least raises some stakes that stuff can happen.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the DC universe. Even when a lot of these heroes will risk their lives, they always come back fighting. Even they'll get some kind of injury or whatever. They're still mortals and all that. So that was something to remember and everything. But
all right. Yeah. Alrighty, so that just leaves 3 girls left. Trixie, Rarity, Apple Dash, and Tara Strong wanting to be Pinky. Who do you want to do next?
Well, let's talk about Zatanna. So
the great and powerful Zatanna. Actually, I think it's pronounced Zatanna or
Zatanna, Zatanna, something
we just call her
like that.
Z or whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But Z. Personally, I think it's a tie between her and Kara, and maybe Tara, but we'll get to her when we get to her. But even between her and Kara is my favorite character. Like I said, she pretty much is a cross between Rarity and Trixie. She's got Rarity's fascist tension, but she also got Trixie's egotism and magical flair. Like, especially in the training montage, there was this one just adorable scene where she's like showing off her magic. It's taking a long time, and she only does something after all the practice dummies they were practicing on were destroyed. Oh, that's actually another point I kind of wanted to mention, the training montage, which I just thought was kind of brilliant, where normally it's about them learning how to battle people. Instead, they're learning how to save people, which I thought was kind of unique and interesting and different.
Exactly. So.
All right, but I think that's kind of all I got. So then, Tana, you go.
Okay, so I did like her character and everything. At first I was like, oh, she's gonna be that kind of typical character, but she's like, well, she's not even mean. She kind of just like, oh, sweetie, I know what to do and everything. But it was actually my favorite.
That whole, thanks, Daddy.
Yeah, exactly. My favorite scene was when she was getting her. It's like her dad's like, oh, you forgot your lunch bag or whatever. Like, thanks, Dad. Like, okay, so we're gonna show parents in DC. Hooray! I did not see that coming. Usually we don't see that, but she was a very showman kind of character. But I love that the biggest thing for her was helping Wonder Woman with her outfit, and it was just the most common, casual, beautiful outfit was. So yeah, that was my favorite because she's like, oh, I know what to do. Stand back. So. Because her fashion is just exactly
it also kind of seems the most level-headed. Like, where everyone else was fighting, she was just casually applying her makeup, and then was like, okay, last minute I better save these poor saps.
Exactly.
Zap, bippity-boppity-boo.
Exactly. She really knew how to clean up the situation quicker and everything. Like, oh, everything's fine. Nothing happened here.
Yeah, but then she can also then kind of like get the attention get to her. Like, when they were first fighting the robot, she destroyed a few, and then was just like, roboty kids in the back destroying stuff.
Oh,
like I said, no one likes perfect characters. She definitely has a lot of flaws, and I'm trying to see where they develop that. But speaking of flaws, let's now get to Supergirl. I think I kind of already talked about the whole, how originally her character's more of a traditional all-American teenager. This time they turned it around and made her look like a girl that could crush you like a tin can, which she literally can do, which I just thought was perfect. But you got any more stuff to add to, Kara?
Okay, so I was happy that they finally updated her, because I was so sick and tired of every time I see Supergirl, they've always had her as the American cheerleader, whatever, but this time she's more of a punk rocker. She's such a tomboy and everything.
Oh, punk rocker, that's the word I was looking for.
Yes, and also for the factor, I actually like that the fact she didn't care for Wonder Woman at all. She kind of like, oh, you think you're so perfect or whatever, like, oh, you, and she was already a superhero. She was, but it was always a factor like, well, I want to be a superhero, but at the same time, I don't want to. It was hard to
Well, yeah,
explain because she couldn't.
yeah, and
Nobody
like,
understood
yeah,
it
like
or
you remember when
whatever.
she did actually punch Wonder Woman? She kind of showed
Yeah,
remorse, like, oh, gee, did I actually just accidentally kill her?
yeah,
Like that was definitely like that was
because
something to see
she
when she
has
responded.
great
And
strength.
I
And
won't
she
spoil
was,
what happens
yeah.
in her next episode. She appears, but
Mhm.
that definitely added a lot of interesting characters. I'm dying to hear your opinion on when you get to it.
Yes. And I might have saw a clip or something. There was some. All I remember was there were super cute bunnies, and I know that
Oh,
they.
you saw it. You saw it.
I
You
saw
saw it.
pieces of it, just
Yeah,
a
that was
little
interesting.
bit, but yeah, she has
let's
a
save
weakness
that.
for
Let's
cute
save that.
stuff.
All right,
Yeah.
but let's save that. Let's save that for
Yes.
when we if we want to talk about that again in the next
Yes.
episode. Let's move on to the highlight and possibly star of the show. My senpai voice actress Tara Strong taking on the role of Batgirl.
Batgirl.
Da-da.
Na-na-na-na.
And all I can say is just pure adorableness. I know some people say she's probably a bit too hyper and needs to calm down. Good argument there, but I didn't care. She was just too adorable. Pepper?
I loved her. I am so gonna cosplay her, so bad, because we're both redheads and everything.
Oh, I'm dying to give you a hug then if I manage to get the Bronycon.
I loved her.
Yeah,
that
she was
she's
just
so
the most
geeky,
adorable thing
and
in
yet
this
she's
episode.
so.
It starts with her,
Oh
it kind of
gosh,
ends with
I
her.
know.
It's just like, the best way I can describe her is super hyper fangirl go.
Oh,
Like, she's
especially
just
for
all
Batman.
over the place. It's just hyper. She's just, I knew it. I want to be a superhero just because it's fun. I look up to Batman. It's so awesome. And this and that. Blah, 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 blah. Talk. Yeah, like I said. And she's voiced by Tara Strong, so that's definitely points in my book. And
Obviously.
for those of you who know, for those of you who know Pony history, originally in the MLP, Tara Strong was originally supposed to voice Pinkie Pie. But then Lauren heard her voice, figured she'd be that to Twilight, and that's how it was. Here it kind of feels like that she's playing the Pinkie Pie she never got a chance to. I mean, you can tell from her voice that this is Tara doing a more Twilight side, but again, I need the Pinkie Pie personality, but making her all her own. But you want to add anything to that, or you want to just get on more to the character itself?
So, I can see her. I love that she's just over fan for Batman. It's like everything Batman, and it's like, oh my gosh, yes. The one thing I noticed was really cute about her is she had a plushie of one of the bad guys, and I can't remember who it was, but she had this cute little plush. It was, and
She
it
did?
was,
Yeah, I have to look.
I forgot who it was, but it's funny because
You were talking about the scene where she was a Skype calling with Harley.
I think so. Oh, that's right. It's weird that they are that. It's weird that she and Harley are actually friends. Like, okay, this is. I'll let this go. This is fine.
Well, technically, Harley Quinn was in the 5-minute shorts, and actually, that was the point I wanted to brought up.
Uh-huh.
One of the things I really hated about the original 5-minute shorts was Harley Quinn apparently being a superhero. I mean,
I know,
that just
right?
sends a lot of mixed messages when you know her backstory. Like, she's apparently this happy, hyper high school girl, but even though her origins are she's in an abusive relationship with Joker.
Exactly.
But here, I actually kind of like the setup they have. Like, it's kind of ambiguous whether or not she's a hero or villain. You're not sure where it goes. I'm highly doubtful they're going to cover her relationship with the Joker in this series, but if this is all we see of her, I'll be happy with that. It's definitely a lot better than the 5-minute shorts.
Yeah.
Interpretation of her, but yeah, I wanted to get that off my mind. I hated having Harley Quinn in the original DC superhero girls. I like where they have her here. I'd be happy if they followed up more. I'm doubtful they'll cover it with the Joker. It'd be nice, but if this is all we get, I'd be happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Barbara, yeah. So basically, like I said, her setup is she just moved from Gotham High and now is at Metropolis trying to make new friends. She's making a bunch of DC friends, and from there, she just needs to, hopefully throughout the series, learn how to slow down and not overly fangirl, but yeah, still be adorable at the same time.
Yes.
Let's see, that's about all I got. You got anything more to add to her?
I think over time she'll learn how to organize her back gear and everything. It's kind of fun that she kind of stumbles over this, but I think she'll get better later on and stuff. Because the one thing Wonder Woman told her is, like, you are out of focus. You need to be focused with your gadgets and everything.
No, I think it was like, You lack focus.
Yes, you lack focus. Yes, and it's like, oh, okay. Oh, but I just loved her design. I love the hoodie thing, and that's so going to be easy to cosplay. Like, oh, I'm so going to do that.
Every character in the special made it for me, but she especially made it for me.
Yee.
And with that, we have made it all to 6 characters, and let's see, it looks like we've been going for about 30 to 40 minutes. I'm still good if you have anything else you want to cover, or anything else you want to touch upon, cover, or discuss for this pilot episode.
For the episode, I like that they gave, Commissioner Gordon. I like they gave him the loving dad thing. It's like, oh, he's so sweet.
I did too, but
I always loved Commissioner Gordon. He was always my favorite. It's just my influence
from the Omni Viewers review, but it kind of sets him up as sort of this clueless, dumb dad. And I've seen the Batman animated series at least a little bit, and it kind of just seems like a complete downgrade from his character. I'm hoping they bump it up a little, but it is something I am kind of worried about. And this is kind of spoilers for the other upcoming episode we'll talk about later, but it's kind of getting a vibe of how women are superior, while most of the men in the series seem to be either dim-witted, stupid, or just jerks. I'll explain more in detail if we cover the other episodes, but it is something I am kind of worried about, especially since it's a kind of a Lauren Faust trademark. I love her, but she tends not to have the best history of making a good balance of male characters in her girl shows. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how many seasons did it take for us to get a good, memorable male character in MLP?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, Hal Jordan was okay. He's just a typical boy, but I don't know. It's like, wait
till you get to the next episode.
Oh,
with him.
yeah, I know, and it's gonna be one thing and another. I'm not really, but
yeah, we'll cover that when we get to. We'll get to that when we cover the next individual episodes, but. Yeah, it might be a problem. I'm hoping it's not a problem. We'll discuss more of that when we get to the next Green Lantern episode. But yeah, kind of issue and that of Lauren possibly undermining male characters just to possibly make the girl characters better. And the theme song, what did you think of the theme song when you heard it?
I wanted it in my phone now. I wanted it as a freaking ringtone. So bad. It was awesome. And I need to get the lyrics.
Well, I'm here to break your heart. I didn't like it.
Aww.
I'm sorry, Lauren. What? I love you.
It's rock and roll. Come on.
Intro songs are not your strong suit. I mean, it's not horrible, but it kind of falls into the same level of My Little Pony theme song. It's good, but it's not exactly great, or I would consider it favorite. I mean, this is to be fair, I'm comparing this to like Danny Phantom, Shaman King, and all these other great American theme songs, and just kind of got this one where it's like, we're super girls, become super friends. I mean, I'm glad you love it, and you show that, people can absolutely love it. I just think it's just kind of average, mediocre, not Lauren Faust's strongest suit. But other than that, everything else about this special is great. What you would expect to be great if you're a fan of her work, especially from Powerpuff Girls or Friends with Magic, is here in DC Superhero Girls. And so far, from what else I've seen, including from this pilot, it looks like this series is off to a promising start.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and I like the fact, well, I do remember there was another song in the premiere, and it was during that time Wonder Woman was seeing what the girls can do, and I couldn't get the name of the song, but it was really cool. That was this, they're going this garage band kind of fast.
I don't remember the words, I'll look it up and mention it next time we do one of these, but let's see here, we're over 40 minutes now. I don't mind going for an hour, but can you necessarily think of anything else you want to talk about?
The opening theme, was really good.
And I thought it was just okay. You said it was amazing.
It was pretty fast and everything, but it was actually cool. If you pause the moment when the yearbook opens, you'll see all the photos and the name of all the characters. And I saw a bunch of DC people like Lois Lane, Pamela Isley, and Selena Kyle. So they're teenagers.
Ooh, that'd be interesting. I like the visuals of it. I just thought the lyrics and even kind of the Rudenton was just kind of meh, average. friendship is magic levels of okay.
Yeah.
Not horrible, just not.
Yeah.
He's a Phantom. Danny Phantom, high quality.
Mm-hmm. So, and I don't mind that the DC, this is going, high school, everything. It's like, okay, then I don't mind that at all because it's like, it's a different pace, and really, this version is extremely better than the other DC superhero girls.
Actually, if we're talking theme songs, I actually kind of like the 5-minute short intro better than this intro, if I'm perfectly honest. I still like this series overall more than that. Just between the two, that was the only thing from the 5-minute shorts I actually think I like better than from this one. But other than that, everything about this series so far is off to a great start, looking good, and I cannot wait to see where this is going. And I need to watch those short webisodes, and you need to get to work on the next 3 episodes.
Yes, I do need. The one thing I really hope in this series that I don't know if will be good or bad, but do you remember the character Lobo?
Yeah, how about...
Do you remember
that?
Lobo?
Sounds good. Like, let's make some predictions.
Yes.
Like, what we're hoping is going to happen, where it goes, and then how about we just end this and save our thoughts for another time, okay?
Yeah.
So, you seem to have some thoughts first, so go ahead, share with me your hopes, predictions for the future of the series.
My hope is, I want to see what would, if Lobo came into play. That would be interesting. Do you remember Lobo?
Who?
Lobo, Lobo. So
no.
He would. Okay, so once upon a time in Superman the animated series, he was, and of course later on, he's like this motorcycle. He has this flying motorcycle, and he's like a bounty hunter, but he looks like a 80s rock star. Nope. Seriously? What about Justice? How about Justice League Action?
To be fair, I haven't really seen the Superman animated series,
okay.
So, but
how about?
Yeah. That definitely sounds like a character I'd be interested to see if they bring it in.
Yeah. How about Justice League Action? Did you ever see that before on Cartoon Network?
Don't think so.
Okay, so John DiMaggio got in there and everything, but Lobo's really
you're
cool.
just talking to yourself pretty much at this point, so go ahead and share what you're hoping, and then I'll do mine.
Yes. I'm hoping to see it would be interesting. Ooh. I'm hoping to see more shenanigans when it comes to Wonder Woman even getting more deeper into teenage life. I have to watch more of that. That's been great.
Yeah. Well, basically the best I'm looking forward to and hoping for the most is basic character development. Like, I want to see, at least for the moment, Jess learning how to fight, but find a balance of fighting, being assertive. Yeah. Santana and Kara learning to get past their differences. Bumblebee naturally learning to be assertive.
Yes.
Barbara, I'm not exactly sure. Maybe learning how to focus or not overly fangirl. I can possibly maybe see a situation in the future where she scares away an idol and she needs to learn to be more chill and relax or something like that. Something I can sadly relate to once in a while. And then like you, just seeing more what they do with Wonder Woman, seeing with her adapting to the mortal world.
Yes.
I can't really necessarily say any characters I'm most looking forward to and hoping to seeing, except maybe what they're doing with Lex. That ending shows that they have more plans with him in the future, and hopefully the exchange of this really subpar villain plot will make way for a better storyline with him in the future. I'm really hoping they make up for that with something really good with him later on. And that basically our first impression of DC Superhero Girls, the plot, Sweetjustic. We really loved it, and we're really looking forward to seeing more in the future.
Yes, indeed.
All right, and I think that's about all we got or can talk. I can't really think of anything else to cover. Can you for the pilot episode? Or you just want to save it more for next time when we have a chance to look up more stuff?
Probably next time.
I'll make notes.
Yes.
Alrighty then.
Time.
And with that, I think we'll end it. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel for hopefully more podcasts in the future. If you want PepperMint, this was really fun.
Yes. And thank you for inviting me.
And be sure to follow. No problem. Just send her someone to talk with, so I'm not babbling to myself. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more of these future podcasts. And once you're done here, be sure to follow PepperMint over on her YouTube, Twitter, and DA links in the descriptions. And also, if you're hoping to see me, her, and Casey at Bronycon this year, we all have Kofis if you want to donate $3 or more, feel free to check it out in the description. For everyone who donates to our Kofi for me and even just follows me on Kofi, we'll get a free video shout out in my next edited video. And if you want to donate more, I'll be offering more rewards, possibly such as either collabs, video edits, rough draft editing, etc. And Casey will also be making horseshoes for anyone who donates to her. So be sure to check those out. There's lots of great rewards. And this was AJ. Thank you all for joining. And now you say bye-bye, Pepper.
Yes. Bye-bye, Pepper.
Adorable. Anyway, thank you all for joining, and we'll see you next time when we cover the next 2 episodes of DC Superhero Girls. Take care, everyone.